So here you have, and it's what I call your agreement with reality. So someone in their agreement with reality views that they're, they may have that victim mentality that's prevalent in our society, where people don't know, I'm in this rut, same crap, different day mentality. I try to explain to them, if you only knew how much power you actually have over that reality, that your reality is actually a printout of your thoughts, it almost gives you almost superhero-type power. But how do you relay that to somebody, Greg? What do you use to relay that to them?
Well, it's a great question, and where this subtle and very powerful difference between being a victim and being an architect of our reality becomes really clear. In our culture, we have relegated this inner power of feeling, human feeling and human belief are the keys to creating in our reality. And what's so interesting is in our culture, we have relegated those two powers to almost a meaningful or a meaningless a byproduct of our experience. This is not the case in other traditions and other cultures, and it's why we spend so much time exploring not only the written records, but the living traditions of many ancient and indigenous peoples today, because they have essentially the tools that we had at one time, and we lost in the biblical edits of the 4th century. And this is so interesting to me, Steve. There are, as different as the spiritual traditions of our world appear to be, and they are different today, when you trace them back in time, it appears that they stem from a common lineage of wisdom that predates any religions. In other words, there was a holistic view of our relationship to the world where we were part of rather than separate from our world. And in that way, we participated, not controlled and not manipulated, but we participated in the way that life unfolds rather than feeling that we're powerless victims.
Well, it was like an understood truth for them.
Well, it was in our culture, and when I say ours, I'm speaking in North America. I'm assuming that most of us are of some direct lineage of the Judeo-Christian tradition and the many offshoots. So it was part of the Judeo-Christian traditions as well. In the 4th century, as we've said in all of our books, and we've mentioned on this show in the past, there was an editing that occurred of what were to become the biblical texts.
Right.
We know at least 45 books were edited, 20 were removed altogether, 25 additional books were condensed. They were rearranged. It's like we have the Reader's Digest condensed version of these great truths. And we know this is a fact. This isn't speculation, because those books, in their original form, were recovered in the 20th century through the Dead Sea Scrolls, the Nag Hammadi Library in Egypt, the Coptic libraries, and anyone that's read the Da Vinci Code or any of the new novels relating this material, this is not new information.
And Greg, there's speculation of why it was removed, Nicene Council and all that. But what people can agree on, if you've read any of the Christian Apocrypha or anything like that, you realize that the empowering books, the self-empowering books, were the ones taken out.
Well, this is the irony. It's the power of human emotion and feeling that we'll talk about in this program to literally interrupt the flow of time and space and rearrange the atoms of our reality. I mean, that's what we're talking about here. And that very power is what was in the descriptions that were included in the books that were removed from our traditions. They were never removed from other indigenous traditions, such as the natives of the Andes in South America, the beliefs of the Tibetans high in the plateaus of the western Chinese provinces, and our own Native American traditions as well. So when we study their cultures and their traditions, and they do things that look so simplistic, and we've tended to discount them in the past, the reality is that those are their interpretations and their memory and their application of a power that was actually lost in our traditions. And now our own science is bearing these truths out under laboratory conditions, and this is what we're doing in the book, The Divine Matrix. We're bridging the mysteries that science is finding today with what we've always held as the truth of our past.
And we'll talk about those mysteries when we get back. We're speaking with Gregg Braden. He's the author of The Divine Matrix. You can check out his website, greggbraden.com. That's Greg with 2 G's, Braden.com. You're listening to Empowered Living. We'll be right back. Welcome back. You're listening to Empowered Living, Life, the Truth, and Being Free. I'm your host, Steve Maraboli. For more information about A Better Today, speeches, programs, and seminars, please visit abettertoday.com or stevemaraboli.com. You'll also find our live event schedule. We're all over the country. We'll also be in Europe. So speaking with Gregg Braden, he is a New York Times best-selling author. His recent book, The Divine Matrix, is absolutely amazing, and it just talks to you about changing your life, changing reality itself by embracing the focused power of human emotion as the quantum language of change.